Waiting for Chris Flowers.
But for real, shout out to Miss Ford, my 3rd grade math teacher. You told me that I would never be shit and I'd work at McDonald's when I'm older. And guess what? I start tomorrow, bitch!
Why are you crying?
God damn it! Welcome to tonight's Technical Difficulties Plumes of Hazard. I'm Matt Paso9. These are my co-hosts. Just says hosting tonight, all the way from New York City.
New York City.
Hi. Not hosting tonight, all the way from Yeehaw, Texas. Schlanza Fart Thanks Vapor.
Bye, everyone.
Reminding you that he is a geek.
Yeah. So this.
Oh yeah, that's the geek hoodie.
This is a very old sweatshirt from Think Geek. I mean, and by very old, I mean it's probably 8 or 10 years old. Like I've been wearing this thing for a long time. So long. How long? So long. I wore out the elbows, and my mom put patches on them.
Nice. Yes. Dude. Okay. Look. You see this thing right here that I've had for about not quite 8 years, but 6-ish years.
Yep.
My elbows dead. These are ripped on the inside. This is it. This is it.
That happens.
I'm not far from the elbow patches. Look at these fucking cuffs.
Yeah.
Look, the only reason
I can break these cuffs.
It looks like sleeves of Wizard.
I can break these cuffs.
I can break these cuffs alive. You got to do it like that.
I can break these cuffs.
I can break these.
Rob says, "Oh, how cute! Your mom can fix your boo-boos." So the problem is my mom got sick of looking at the hole.
Dude, that's what happens. It's not you that gets sick of it. Your mom would be like, "All right, go change. Give me that. I'm going to fix it."
It could have been worse. She could have added more black patches, and you could have looked like a Chick-fil-A cow.
Yeah,
it's hard to tell, but it's brown.
It's brown, yeah. There you go. So the reason I knew what that said, even though it was kind of cut off, was because years ago someone got me a Think Geek monkey, and it had the same little logo on his shirt. So there you go. There you go, everybody. Welcome.
Rob, your mom died 5 times. That's amazing.
Damn, son.
That's amazing. She's a sturdy lass.
So whoever killing her needs to do a better job.
Yeah, or that. Hello, girl.
You got to mix the garlic with the what is it? Fucking silver with something else.
Something else. Maybe a cross.
The better not be aluminum because that shit don't work down here. Hey, congratulations to us for landing on Mars again. We landed on Mars again. We can't pick any other fucking planets, just Mars.
M-A-R-S. Mars, bitches.
Yep. Landed in the old poop chute, Chocolate Hershey Highway. And so we got another rover up there doing its thing.
A digging one, right?
A big one, yeah.
No, it digs, right? Didn't this one like dig?
Oh yeah. It does dig. Doing some seismographic something shit.
Wait, so we'll just say, can we all just agree that NASA's a bunch of bullshit now? Come on, they're on Mars. That's pretty cool.
United States of Space.
Nature Boy 01, what's a good bottle using a free hand? The best bottle, one would assume, would be the Limelight bottle, which I do not have yet, but I've seen all the specs and stuff. It looks good. I normally use one of the Silks from Fuck, my mind just went blank. Who the hell makes the soap?
Beep.
Shit.
Beep.
Sunbox. No.
Sunbox.
No, not somebody. Although they make the Cappy, and the original
Cappy.
Cappy works great, and the original.
Oh,
Cappy.
Lucos.
Lucos, thank you.
How do I know that? You don't know that.
Yeah, you should definitely know that, or I should definitely know that. The other thing is the Cappy with the Delrin top that gets real small at the top. That one works great. So you know, most of them work fine, but there you go. Thank you, Festy and Vic. Yeah, so that I was actually going to ask you about that, Master, because I saw it a few days ago and I haven't watched it yet.
Mm-hmm.
But is that something we should just play, or should we just link it?
I mean, I don't know.
I legitimately haven't watched it yet, so I don't even know how good it is. But Massey's asking about the Stossel video, right?
Yeah. Yep. To let them vape video. I mean, you know, it's only 5 minutes. It's not, you know.
Is that fair use though? We just straight play the whole video.
I mean, it's fair to inform our viewers.
Yeah, and there's no music in it, so.
Yeah, that's true. I suppose.
I don't think they'd mind. Yo, just sorry in advance.
There you go. Addie says the video is good.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. Everybody's been saying that, but I legitimately haven't logged into Facebook or anything in like 5 days. Not like at all. My notifications are out of control. I've got messages from people, and I haven't even looked at them.
Womp womp.
Yeah, Will says, as long as you chuckle during it, because that's commentary. Yeah, so Master, we'll just play like a minute, and then we'll talk about it, and then play in a minute.
I'll do like the Mandark from Dexter's Lab laugh over. They're like, ah.
Yeah.
That'll get past YouTube. Or I might get cited for that. I don't know.
But it's
Okay. So here we go.
Now I'm trying to remember how his laugh goes. It wasn't like a ha 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 ha. Yeah.
Causing the new health crisis. So says our government and the media.
E-cigarettes are popping up everywhere.
They've got serious.
We can have commentary while this goes.
Vaporizers or e-cigarettes let people get a hit of nicotine without actually burning tobacco. So the government scares people about it.
The FDA warning about liquid nicotine.
Scientists say it can change your brain.
It's like 5-year-old footage.
It's a much less harmful way to consume nicotine.
Extraordinarily less harmful. I mean, it's about 95% less harmful than a normal traditional cigarette.
Michelle Minton of the Competitive Enterprise Institute studies vices like vaping. She concludes
we should really be encouraging people to use vaping, and there's only a couple ways.
Encouraging people?
Absolutely, because there's no controversy at this point, the fact that vaping is much less harmful than smoking.
Actually, there is some controversy. Oh, shit.
E-cigarette battery suddenly exploded.
Some vaporizers are defective, but most important, vapor contains harmful chemicals too. Nevertheless,
Vaping is far less harmful than smoking.
it's nicotine that makes both e-cigarettes and regular cigarettes addictive. But nicotine itself isn't that bad. It's a stimulant.
And similar to caffeine.
Similar to caffeine?
On the spectrum of drugs that you can become addicted to, nicotine and caffeine are very similar to each other.
Enjoy a cigarette.
But tobacco smoke contains 7,000 other chemicals, some of which cause cancer. Taking in nicotine is not as harmful as inhaling smoke from the burning of paper and tobacco leaves.
What's harmful about nicotine is how it is delivered. Delivered through cigarettes, it's incredibly harmful, incredibly deadly.
By contrast, while e-cigarettes may deliver these big puffs of smoke, the smoke is mostly flavored vapor, less likely to harm anyone. Also, it doesn't smell as bad as cigarettes.
Somebody who's vaping a huge cloud of vanilla, cherry blast, whatever they're vaping, is way more pleasant than standing next to somebody who is exhaling smoke from a combustible cigarette.
So these are less intrusive and safer. So what does our government do?
There's an epidemic spreading.
It launches campaigns against vaping.
Your kids are not an experiment. Protect them from e-cigarettes.
Actually, kids have been vaping a little less since 2014, according to data from the CDC. But recently there was a spike.
The only explanation I can come up with now is that the CDC and the FDA has been doing the most advertising of these products by talking about them so much.
Young people should never use these kinds of products.
Telling children you shouldn't be doing this thing is not necessarily going to make many of them say no, maybe makes it more attractive to them.
Kids are going to the bathroom, smoking it in stalls. Next thing you know, you're hooked like that.
My former employers, ABC News, is eager to talk about the dangers.
Addicted to nicotine before they even graduate from middle school.
Recently, they ran more than a dozen scare stories about vaping.
Another recent study suggests that e-cigarettes are a gateway to traditional cigarettes.
Gateway to traditional cigarettes.
If someone is going to use cigarettes, they're probably going to start with an e-cigarette first.
However,
some children who might have gone on to use actual cigarettes might just stop with e-cigarettes.
If I take a puff of this, I get, oh, that smells good. What is that? What flavor is that? If I smoke a cigarette, I get funny looks and, brush shoulders.
Do we want children to become addicted to anything? No, no one's going to say they want kids to become addicted. But keeping a small percent of teenagers from trying e-cigarettes is not worth sacrificing adults whose lives could be saved.
Why not ban all these things? They're all bad for you.
And that would be a tragedy for public health. A really good example of this is what happened in Europe with something called snus.
Sweden was built on premium quality snus.
Snus is a moist tobacco chew that has been banned in the EU for about 2 or 3 decades now, except for in one country, Sweden. And Sweden currently has the lowest smoking rates and the lowest lung cancer rates of any EU country.
The EU's banning the tobacco alternative didn't work out very well.
If we do this with e-cigarettes, it would be as bad as what the EU did with snus. We've seen this with vaping already.
Cities across the country are starting to ban e-cigarette use in public.
The states that have enacted, over 21
Fucking
to
Florida.
buy e-cigarettes or over 18, the teenage smoking rates go up again. Because when teens who want to do something like smoking can't get a hold of e-cigarettes, they just go to smoking.
It can release dangerous chemicals like formaldehyde into your bloodstream.
Children aren't the only people seeing these ads. 5 years ago, very few adults believed that e-cigarettes were as harmful as smoking. And now, thanks in large part to these government warnings, adult smokers think that vaping is as harmful or even more harmful.
How many adult
than smoking.
smokers think that?
We're talking on the order of 60% at this point. So it used to be
It's just wrong.
30, and it's dead wrong. There are a few lunatics out there who say that e-cigarettes are more harmful based on zero evidence, but every legitimate rational scientist who's investigated this issue has said, we don't know all the risks, but we can say that they're less harmful than smoking.
Now, Minton's think tank has received some money from companies that make e-cigarettes. But best I can tell, her science is right. Vaping is a safer alternative. You may think it's unusual that Minton spends all her working time studying and writing about vices. What's wrong with you? Alcohol, gambling, vaping. 11 years studying this stuff. Why?
I like some of those bad things personally, and it's also personal for me because we're talking about the essence of what it is to be a free human being, which is to make decisions about risk in your life. There's nothing more fundamental to human choice than being able to decide for yourself what kind of risks you want to take with your body, with your money, with your life. So it's a fundamental freedom for myself that I want to protect, not just for other people, but also for them.
Ooh. Damn.
Well said.
I tell you what, that girl could probably have just about any vapor she wanted at this point.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, she likes those bad things. That a girl.
Vaping is so hard right now. Fuck, where'd my juice go? Oh, here's my juice.
Yeah, Ace, and that's been consistently what I have not only experienced myself, but heard from literally everybody else that I've ever talked to that vapes is once you quit smoking and you get over that hump of really wanting the cigarette, you just feel better. I mean, just all the time.
My thing is, do people really? So the thing is, what people don't understand when they throw that shitty argument of vaping leading to smoking, kids can't go to the bathroom, smoke a cigarette, and come back to class without being sus. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not. Vaping is the convenience far outweighs smoking. You know what I mean?
Matt, so you got that link? Bogfoot's asking for it.
Because this generation of kids is so they're raised with more negative stigmas about smoking than I was, or before, more than Nancy was, or Mast. I mean,
link is in chat.
So, and they're expensive.
Speaking of, you know, what, like a day or two ago, Carnival Cruise Lines changed their policy on vaping, and also I should say on smoking, or smoking weed or anything like that. Even if you do it in your own room's balcony, can get you pretty much kicked off the ship. So there was an article by Travel Pulse that said Carnival changes policy. Passengers caught smoking could be kicked off cruise, and they, with the additional vaping. If you're caught vaping or smoking in non-specified areas, there will be a $500 fine and face possibility. The passenger and all guests staying in the same cabin could be asked to leave the ship at the next port of call, which could really screw up your vacation.
Hello, American. I'd like a one-way ticket from Barbados back to States.
That's got to be expensive. So guests who are disembarked for violating the policy will be responsible for all financial charges and expenses to return home, and no refund of their unused cruise fare will be provided. Additionally, they may be prohibited from sailing with Carnival ever again.
So, well, here's the thing. I've never vaped on the open seas, but I have smoked on the open seas, and let me tell you, it's one of the greatest pleasures of life. Just saying. That's my 2 cents.
Just saying.
Anyone in chat would agree with me. Anyone who has smoked on the open seas. Staring off into the horizon. Quite nice.
Just like that.
Just like, yeah, just you get all like
so
sexual about and shit.
I don't know if either of you have this for your news, but I'm talking about the sample box story. Vinny, you going to cover that?
I have that in my news labeled "Blast from the Past."
Good.
Hold on, you talk about it. I'll share it.
Yeah. So, a user by the name of LOILI said, I received 2 boxes. Well, the title of the post is Sample Box is a pure scam.
Yeah,
okay. I received 2 boxes from Sample Box. Okay. Earlier this year, bottles were opened each time. Sample Box refused to refund me for this, but would only give me store credit, forcing me to try their service again. Apparently, if I stopped my subscription, I'd be charged $9.99 a month. I was being charged this for months before I realized the scam. I called them and I told them, I clicked on I agree button, the checkbox at one point. What kind of company sneaks in extra subscription fee only after you unsubscribe from using them? Also, my account, it says literally, what subscriptions? You don't have any subscriptions. It's completely hidden. This is a pure scam. Their customer service number takes you to an automated message that tells you to go to their support page online. After looking elsewhere for a person to talk to, I was able to reach Rodrigo, who refused to refund me all of the months I didn't use their service. After bargaining for a while, he agreed to refund me 6 months of this hidden subscription fee, and I agreed to eat the rest of the charges. He then emailed me later saying that he can only give me 3 months and to seek help from the credit card company. I will be reporting these charges as fraud. This company is an absolute joke. Did not even sign up for their site, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, and some of the comments are saying Sample Box has been known to be unreliable and shady to the point to where we've had our own novelty account dedicated to them called Scample Box. That definitely sucks, and that happened. I'm really sorry to hear that. Hopefully someone who is interested in them sees this as, and they're spared the same fate. So, blast from the past.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We can't say we told you so enough.
Yes.
I mean, that post says it all. I mean, that's just one side of kind of why they suck. You know.
Do you remember? I forgot about that. I just saw the comments. I didn't see it earlier. He said, remember that pathetically sad "Don't Go" video that would play when you tried to unsubscribe?
Yeah.
Anxiety remembered it. Said, please stay.
Please stay. Yep. And you know, I mean, that's just kind of like saying, that, some of these other companies that we've talked about that people just keep buying stuff from that are maker. We'll just, in a few years, they'll be like, oh yeah, man, this company sucks.
Here's a good question. Is vaping allowed on Zambo Box cruises?
Yeah.
What I would assume. I would guess.
I don't know. People, you can't vape on cruises anymore.
I had subbed to them when I first started. All the juices were advertised as premium, known brands, but the boxes people got were all shitty house juices from their own brands. They denied it up and down until a bunch of people made noise, then admitted that they were using their own stuff to fill out boxes. Canceling was a pain in the ass too, but thankfully they didn't do this as extra sub shit. So one of the comments is saying that 2 seconds of research shows that the subscribers get included into the wholesale program for free. Okay, and which is a members only discount for their online store. Canceling a sub box, they ask if you want to continue the ZB wholesale for $99 a month. The guy's saying, to me, it sounds like you're a little careless with research and contracts and fine print, blah, blah, blah. I've been using Vape Box for a while. We'll just get the hardware and some juice. Choose them over Sample Box. Well, that's, kind of when you cancel that, you got to read what you're getting into. So, both sides of the story there. So,
I have a how do we put this? An online security topic for this evening. So this happened earlier. Wife went to go watch something on Netflix while we were starting to show up, and it didn't work. Said wouldn't log in. I was like, that's weird. And I noticed when I was doing it that my password was old. It was an old password. I hadn't updated it forever. So I went and signed it on a browser real quick, and it said, yeah, no account exists on my email address. I was like, what? So I went and searched my email box, and apparently I'd gotten something like a week ago that said, oh, your email address has changed. You can no longer log in with this email address.
Whoops.
Yeah. So I got on Netflix like, hey, I didn't do that.
Yeah, that wasn't me.
Yeah, and they came back and said, "Oh, looks like somebody is taking a
free Brian Welch."
Yep. So I was able to confirm my credit card that they've had for many years, and I logged in and generated a new password. So hey, everybody, change your passwords often.
That happened to me at work.
Yep. Change your passwords often. And use sites like privacy.com when you're paying for anything online. I don't care if you trust a retailer. I have a retailer that I regularly buy stuff from and electronic parts for fixing things. You know what? Never had an issue. And I would have probably never noticed this if it was on my credit card, just because, I put so much stuff on there. And by using privacy.com, I got an email, I got a text saying, hey, someone just tried to authorize this for, 0.02 cents, where on the credit card, it would never even shown, and fraud detection wouldn't have tripped it because I do business there all the time. See, this is the thing. This is what the bad guys are doing. They know it's getting harder to hit these cards when they steal these numbers, when they generate whatever it is. So what do? Okay, well, let's find out how the system works. Oh, you've consistently bought at this place. Let's fucking try to, do the authorization to them because it won't trip the fraud detection. So using privacy.com, it's free. Some people have issues with it. Their whole source code, I've talked about it before, is free online for people to review and have peer reviewed and all that. So check them out. Use something like Have I Been Pwned, PWNED. You can put your email address in there, or email addresses of places that you use, whether it's Netflix, whatever, put it in there. It'll tell you what sites that your email address has been in has had a data breach. And there's a lot.
There is.
So,
and this password that I had on my Netflix account it's so old. It was one of the ones that I used to share across non-essential things. So, and obviously I've used Netflix on the go, with regular Wi-Fi that you have around, change your shit.
I just saw Robert's comment. Yeah, boy.
So and also so not only that, use a one of those encrypted password protectors if you you want to keep that encrypted and on you, especially if you're changing it all the time, because not only will it help you generate new better passwords, also keep track of it. You have it on your phone, you've always got your shit with you. And besides the privacy thing, the other thing is there's a lot of sites out now that have two-factor authentication, especially banks and things that like your email. Like, if you use email or whatever you use something like that, because then that makes it even more hard for them to change that shit if they don't have access to your email. That's kind of a key. And that's one of the places that I definitely use two-factor on is my email account. So do it. It's a good idea.
There are multiple ways. There's a lot of even, free ways. An example, Wired Magazine a few months ago had a thing going on where you could get the magazine for like $2, and it came with a YubiKey from Yubico. These things are great. I mean, multiple ways that do not require any money, a lot of money to. You have to do it. You have to do it because we're talking. I think Have I Been Pwned has over 5 billion accounts that have been, accessed. Yeah. And we're talking from anywhere from Adobe, a bunch of fucking sites that you don't even know exist that are, data aggregators for you. That just fucking dump all kinds of information for salespeople in there too. All that shit. So stay safe, my friends.
That's right, Nick. And the reason I bring it up is because that was something that we talk about this stuff. We've talked about it several times on the show. And it's something that could even happen to somebody like me that knows these things. And it just happened to be an account that I never bothered updating.
Yep. I would have never noticed that authorization charge.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't, doesn't show up. They would have just submitted it, been fine. And I even reached out to their support saying, hey, this is the first time this has happened to me. Because I have all of my sites on there and it's basically alerts are automatically set up. You don't have to do any of that. You tell the card, hey, you can even use this for, if you have a monthly subscription with like Hulu or Netflix or somebody else, you tell the card every month it should be $9.99. That's it. Any weird authorization, any more money than that, don't allow it. It just won't allow it. It won't let you. It won't let them process the fee, and it'll tell you. So, and it's a free. You might think, how do they make money? Well, they are the credit card processor. They're the transaction processor. So that's how they make, their money. They basically, process that, and the fee that you would be paying directly, they're making it. So, you got to do it. You wouldn't see all of these. Remember freaking Vapor Shark? Oh my God, Vapor Shark had the shit. Freaking, they literally. I think they had someone on the inside selling those numbers. It had to be.
You'd think, but I also wouldn't surprise me because of how many corners or just things that a lot of vendors don't know to look out for. Just a lot of it's a lot of T's and I's that aren't being dotted and crossed,
And don't even think that because you're at a big either chain restaurant or a corporation or something that they have all this PCI compliance that they have to follow and all. It doesn't fucking matter. I was literally at Carrabba's for dinner a few nights ago, and I overheard the server telling one of the people, "Oh yeah, our credit card system's down. We're having to write all the numbers down, this and that." I was like, "Fuck that! I'm paying cash."
I beg your pardon.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is they didn't tell me. Yeah. So I'm like, no. That's not how that works. You just don't write the fucking number down to process later.
It wasn't. Gosh, it was maybe like 5 years ago or something. I was traveling and the cab that I took, his little machine was down, and so you wanted to do the knuckle buster, right?
Yeah,
and I did it because I had no other way to pay for it at the time. But you did bet your ass I was watching that statement.
Yeah,
afterwards, just because. And I know my new credit cards, they don't even have raised letters
They
anymore.
don't have raised numbers. Yeah, that's correct. That's part of some of the laws that changed where they don't have the raised numbers because they don't want businesses relying on that.
Dude,
to go back and forth.
My bank, when I banked TD, and my first bank card with them was a flat thing.
Mm-hmm.
Back to raised when I had to get the chip card. Dude, you know how much of a pain in the ass that is whenever I have to like put money on my MetroCard or anything? Those machines specifically.
This is one good thing about it.
Well with raised, I have to like, I have to fail a few times at it just to know. I have to like play with it. And
that's another good thing about not having raised cards. They don't imprint on
the
wallet.
Yeah.
I don't even need the card in there. It's just yeah. So all that.
Just that I'm starting to get this feeling this is a huge issue for Ben and Jerry's testers.
When we start putting credit cards in that. Oh, hey, speaking of if anyone has an Amazon truck, their whatever the hell the truck name is, can't remember now, but it's the Amazon truck that shows up on cities, and they have a bunch of. I mean, like you can literally, if you wanted something, buy something off Amazon, and they are close by, you can just literally walk up or drive up and get it.
What?
Yeah, you haven't heard of that?
No.
Yeah, so in select cities, this truck shows up, and I got an email. I got to find the what it's called. But anyways, they have free Ben and Jerry's ice cream that you can get while you're there picking up your shit. So, what the hell's the name of it? Let's see if
I don't know. And I live in one of those areas. I mean, the DFW area is a hotbed for Amazon stuff. I mean, they've got distribution centers and stuff all over the place. I get shit.
It's called the Treasure Truck.
Treasure Truck.
Yep. So, and they have all kinds of, items on there. They don't have obviously everything that you can get on Amazon, but you'll get an email when they're around your town, and we'll send you a text revealing that day's must-have item. They'll tell you, you can buy it on Amazon and choose the pickup location, and you meet us at the truck and get the goods. So you can sign up for it. It's at Amazon.com/TT. Treasure Truck. So yeah, there it is. Josh put it on there.
Yeah, and I think Will's right. Bezos is probably Satan. I think that's probably true. But
yes,
he does get my shit really. He gets it here real fast. I mean, which is impressive. So, gotta weigh your.
True that.
Weigh your values. T-Bone.
I got a new shirt.
I guess I should check my email more often.
Yeah, you should. I also got a new shirt. I showed Angsty before we went live. I don't know if you saw that. But...
Let me see. Oh, new shirt, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is. Today is laundry day. Only now.
It looks
oh,
for all you know, it could be laundry day for the next 2 weeks.
AC, I get it. I thought it was an Electro Boom shirt.
Oh.
Yeah, that's also funny. So the whole card chip thing. Not to go back to that thing for a minute, but the whole card chip thing that was supposed to be enacted like a long time ago, and
yes,
it has to be 70% of the places that I go to. It says no chip swipe. Like,
it's about 50-50 for me now.
And it all depends on how. Down here, I'd say about 80% of the retailers have switched over. It's cost them money.
Yeah.
But I think the fear of the penalties is what's having the rest of them. And it was a whole POS conversion, that they had to do. I mean, the machines just had to.
Well, one of the places was the post office of all places.
Yeah. Well, one of the places down here that was late to get it was Publix, and Publix supermarkets. Their point of sale was just not set, to work with that, and to the point to where now, if you swipe and your card does have a chip on it, it won't process it.
Right. It'll process it. It says insert or whatever. Right.
It'll say insert chip. Yeah, that's correct.
When I say that a majority don't, because you're right. I mean, it's this last year or something that I have seen a lot more start to do that. But to Rob's point, all the gas station pumps are still on swipe, and the problem with that is, of course, is those are a hotbed of places to that the scammers use to not only install their skimmers.
Yep.
Some of the skimmers still work too, right? You swipe it, you still get your gas. The things go, but it's also logged, and they've got your shit. But the worst thing about that is all of those doors apparently have the same key.
Absolutely, there are 3 to 4 keys that open up the Gobarco and all these other pumps, and it's a joke. They've gotten better, and the problem is again money. The station owner has to pay for either the alarms or new re-keys, so they aren't all the keys. And the reason they don't do it is because when the pump has to be serviced, when paper has to be put in, anything like that for the receipts, people lose the keys. And if you don't have the keys and you don't have multiple keys, you're going to be in bad shape. So
yeah, for sure.
But down here, so right before Thanksgiving, the Thanksgiving week, the sheriff's department went through and they assigned 53 officers to spend one day going through all the gas stations in the county, which is a ton.
Damn.
And with people still being vigilant, they still found like 25 or 30 stations that had skimmers on them.
Yeah, and a lot of times, since those keys are there, you don't even know as the end consumer, right? You swipe, everything looks normal. You don't see anything on the outside, like at a facade or whatever. It's totally invisible to you, which is why I usually run it as a credit at those places. Put your zip code in and that kind of thing, right? Then at least you're covered as a credit, as opposed to your debit card. Your debit card gets smoked, and they grab your PIN. Yeah, you're done. I mean, whatever.
It's a bad day.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of those hundreds and hundreds will end up in the black market anyways. So you won't even know about it for a long time. So
that's right. I did have another thing to talk about, and the reason I want to talk about it is because today's Monday, and obviously Cyber Monday. But two things came up that I thought I wanted to mention specifically, and it's they're only good until midnight. This first one, Jay says it's good, and he thinks until midnight Pacific. So if you're watching this live or soon, you can get Bigglesworth juice, 25% off juice, 6 times 30 mil for $25, or buy one get one 120s. And you get a bonus Bombies drawstring bag and beer bottle opener with every order, and that also applies to Railcracker. So derailmentvape.co. We'll get you the same thing. And the other one I want to mention was that I thought was really good is e-cigarette. So those guys have been around forever, and they've got a reasonable inventory, and they ship real fast, and they've got a 30% off your whole cart, like site wide. It's BF 2018. Oh, by the way, and Jay's stuff is there's no code, just buy it. But e-cigarette's BF 2018 is 30% off everything. And I was going to show you something that I was looking at. So ecigarette.com. Check your shit out. So if you are somebody that wants to try, I saw that you can. Yes, I'm legal smoking age. If you go to Squonk Mods, because I've heard, I believe Will has got the Aspire Revo kit. He says that's pretty good, but the Topo Recurve Squonk, which I think he also said was surprisingly good, and it's got the Squonk bottle in the right spot, which I love. You can buy that shit, but you can grab the mic.
Thanks. You're far away from your mic or something.
Am I?
Oh, there you go. You're better now.
Oh, weird. So Mike Vapes' shit, which I believe I've been told is really good. The Recurve Squonk Mod and the Addy. If you grab those two things together and go meow and go meow, $72.98 minus $22. So it would be $51 for a Squonk Mod and RDA, which is reportedly quite decent. Yeah, it's Mike Vape stuff. He's a nice enough guy. So there you go. I thought that was pretty good. ecigarette.com. And those are the ones that I saw that were particularly good. So I figured I'd mention them. Cyber Monday news. Done. Boom.
Boom. I have a brief bit of battery mooch news. I don't know if Mass has this, but boom. AWT 40 amp 3300 mAh 18650. Obscenely overrated. Do not buy. Ratings graphic. I love this. Do not buy. Hugely overrated. Boom.
Gross.
There are no 18650s rated over 3000 mAh that can have a rating above 10 amp, and some are as low as
3 amp.
Yeah, those look like a bowling ball. Don't they?
Bowling ball. Rick says that the recurve RDA is really good with a mesh slug. So if you're one of those people that likes mesh, recurve.
I was clipping you while I was doing my battery thing. Fucked up.
By the way, speaking of mooch, I have a link about that. Let me grab this. He has updated his battery tables, and there's lots more information. So here's the link if one is interested to go look at. So in that Reddit link, there's a link to the ECF where he posts all his shit. And there's tons of stuff out there. He's got everything from charger reviews to, I mean, every size battery you can possibly imagine, and there's some of them have been updated. So I wanted to give that to you.
How do the eFest chargers rate? Do you know?
Not offhand, I don't know. Probably not great because eFest. Wait, no, you like the Lux, right?
Yeah, I bought one. It's been solid. Like I said, I've had it for at least 3 years, at least, and I had a spring break on me. That's about it. One of my bays broke. But I also, take care of my batteries and such, and rewrap them if necessary. And
like a good boy should.
Yeah, I mean, it's I picked up, I had the fortune of learning about battery safety with Mac mods early on. And, you don't forget, to me anyway. I do. I still have my same fucking re-wicking ritual every time. Dry burn that shit right by my kitchen exhaust because fuck having that smell sit around.
Yeah, burnt cotton smell.
Yeah. I pull out the cotton, I dry burn the coil, and I just blow it into the exhaust. Throw it into the kitchen sink. Brush.
That smells just about as bad as it tastes when you get a fucking.
Honestly, I think it tastes worse than it smells. To be honest.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm just saying the smell is just so bad that
you get that charcoal dry thing on your tongue going on. Ugh.
Nick.
Clint, sorry to hear about your tooth, man. That sucks. There's very little worse than oral tooth pain because you can't get away from it. It's just.
You ever have a toothache so bad you look like a fucking boxer after 4 rounds? You're like, it hurts so bad that you have to squint your eye out of pain. And you're just light sucks. You're just like, fuck.
Yeah.
You're in so much fucking pain. Yeah, that's the worst.
Joshua just said the same thing. There's nothing worse than toothaches. So, as bad as that is, I would also personally rate nausea right up there too, because that's also something you just can't get away from. It's just always there. If you've got a real bad stomach bug or whatever,
toothaches are up there for me with my the worst wine hangover I ever had.
Yeah,
you just want to just know.
Yeah.
That's it. You just know. That's a wine hangover.
You can sleep, right? That's the only thing you can do.
Dude, even sleeping doesn't help.
Yeah.
Just you open your eyes, you're awake for a second, that shittiness of you reminded I drank wine. Happened to me. I was telling Angsty before we went live. On Thanksgiving, I had 2 glasses of wine, and everyone was watching a movie. You know what my ass did? My ass went to sleep.
Yep,
that's what it does.
CNY Vapes, can you put up the links for both sites? What both sites are you talking about?
Oh, Bigglesworth and eCiggity.
Oh yeah, that's probably true. Let's see. So BigglesworthLabs.com, I believe, and DerailmentVape.co. All right. Well, that came out of nowhere.
Good place to job. Yeah, that was a very out of left field. You pull your back out like that.
Yeah, definitely. I had a mouthful of food and I had to sneeze yesterday. So you have to you're like clamping down to try to not blow food and spit and everything everywhere. So,
yeah.
There's that, and also e-cigarette is that.
I was telling someone the other day that I've mastered the art of if I have to sneeze while I'm driving, I can sneeze with my eyes open.
Whoa, that's talent. I have a hard time with it.
I mean, they're not like wide open. Like I'm not like staring contest.
You've got to
squint. I can sneeze and squint.
Yeah.
They would, because the thing is, most of the time I have to sneeze, it's not bad. But there was like that one moment where, like, the lane's narrow because of construction. There are a lot of people who were not good with the merge, and I'm like, I had to sneeze. That just kind of happened. I couldn't like close my eyes for a split second. It was tense.
That's impressive. My problem is, and that was hardcore. It hurt me.
It's one of the least flattering faces you'll ever make. But.
Normally, when I sneeze, I usually sneeze so hard I blow myself backwards, like. Because it's
like in the fucking like that Maxell ads from the '90s, and they gets blown off the chair. That's you when you sneeze.
That's exactly right. I usually try to keep it down, but yeah, that's uncontrollable sneezing is typically the way I go.
Yeah, basically, if you hit the sneeze, your eyes open, it looks something like this, like possible.
Impossible.
So, I mean, I don't know about you, and this is kind of a weird topic to talk about, I guess, but sneezing. So I am definitely an unrestrained sneezer. Like when I sneeze, I'm just going to go to town. I've got a friend of mine from a long time ago. His wife sings operatic. She's an opera singer, right? Like professionally. And I don't know if she developed this on purpose when she was a kid, because she's been training vocal training forever to save her voice, but when she sneezes, it's the funniest thing you've ever seen. Because even that's too much. What she does, she goes,
oh, it's a stuttery sneeze.
Yeah, like literally just out your mouth a little bit, just like that. And the first time I ever heard her do it, I was like, "Are you okay? Like, what the hell was that?" She goes, "That's how I sneeze. It's easier in my voice."
Check it out.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
I'm a Beastie Boys fan. I mean,
for years, every time she would sneeze, I just bust out laughing because it's the funniest damn thing I've ever seen. Oh man, so good. And we also have another couple of friends who the wife, when she sneezes, it's almost like that, but she goes choo 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 choo, like she actually makes like a sneezing noise, and it is kind of like a tiny sneeze, but it's like 10 of them in a row. Anyway, I think sneezes are hilarious. I think everybody should do it more often.
Oh, when babies first start sneezing, that's the funniest thing.
Yes,
they don't know what the fuck to do with themselves.
Like, what the hell was that?
There's like, you're like, am I me?
It's like. My brother had a dog. He had a pug, which is hilarious. Anyway, I mean, those things are walking hilarity. He farted one time, and it scared him. He was like, "What the hell was that?" Like,
what happened?
Wait a minute, Scott. What? He sneezes like Goofy. How does Goofy sneeze?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. How does Goofy sneeze?
I have no idea. Yeah. Oh, JTH, that's a great equivalent. It's a pressure cooker sneeze. That's hilarious. I never thought about it like that. That's exactly what it was. Yeah. No, if your head doesn't hurt, or if your head hurts, that means you restrained yourself. You shouldn't restrain yourself. You should cover your mouth.
Yeah, I usually, if I'm on the subway, I mean, some people aren't afraid to sneeze in their arm, but it's just become habit for me to just halfway. I'm out and about.
Like I just did a minute ago, right? Because I'm on mic and I didn't have time.
I mean, it's like pitching, you know. You have your full wind up, but if you have runners on the bag, you
tap the brakes a little.
You don't have the full wind up. You have a more concise motion of the plate.
Right.
So that's what I do. If I'm around people, I have a concise motion of the plate.
Get a little change up, right, as opposed to a all-out fastball.
Yeah. Never thought of that baseball analogy. Huh?
JD said, "Yeah, my aunt does that. The whole fart and startle herself."
Yeah, I don't do the startle. Like I do the wow. It smells really bad. That came out of me. I'm like not proud of that. I do the self-critique.
Mm-hmm. Oh, side chat.
Can do major damage by trying to retain a sneeze. Yeah, I know. I'm a professional retainer, though. Elvis died that way, kind of.
Probably. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're like, there was an episode of SpongeBob where he got sick and he kept sneezing, right? So Patrick thought the way to fix him was to cork up all of his holes, but they ended up just getting bigger and bigger the more he kept sneezing. So I'm not corking my holes. I'll be fine.
The segues don't stop. That's right, or never do. Never do. If we get off on a rabbit trail, it's usually best to let it go. just follow it to its conclusion. It'll be fine. Hey, speaking of Elvis dying that way, if you've ever had even just coughing, like you've had like a cold or something, and you go to take a rest in the resting room, oh, it's not good. You get a good cough or a sneeze, you can blow out an O-ring like that. You got to be careful.
Blow out an O-ring.
Right.
Wow, Dad.
I can't help it. Can't help it. Come by naturally. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that or not, Will. I kind of want to. I'll wait until you give me the approval. The approval to say that. Matt Steve already. Oh, is Matt Steve? Is he locked in?
I think he does that thing where he does that thing.
Yeah. Because I like sneezing while I'm taking a dump. It's like a fast forward button. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Masty's totally locked. You should click on him because it's really funny. Click on him. I clicked on him. Click on him. Mm-hmm.
Mass, that was a false flag. Lamigra's not here.
I said I was pausing. Read the freaking chat.
I did.
I'm good.
Read the chat, and I got tired of waiting. It was like
no, but let me. Oh. I do not see anything about pause. I know you paused.
Hey.
Thanks, Corey. We're glad that you like the randos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're not a vaping show, Corey. We're a lifestyle show. Just put that out there. Want to climb the vape Mount Rushmore and maybe have our own Maserati one day.
Do 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 do.
What's on top of your chair behind you?
On top of my chair? Over there?
Yeah.
Those are stockings.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they haven't gone up yet.
Well, you got your tree. That's good.
I do.
We got some lights out front.
Yeah.
Like all about it.
Yeah, got the lights up. They just didn't come back on after the storm, so I'm not messing with them right now.
Yeah, my neighbor decided to set up his lights today in the middle of a nor'easter, or right before it hit. I'm like, yeah, I would have waited a day.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was like really bad. Like, when it rains, when there's not a lot of wind, like there's a certain amount of glass you expect to get wet in your house, right? Because of bushes and all that shit that blocks it.
Yeah.
Literally, there was no dry glass around my house. The wind was blowing that fucking hard. It got everything.
Yeah.
My front door was wet.
Mm.
Got through the storm door. I was like, God damn.
Sounds about right. All right, homies. That's all I got.
Same.
I'd say about that.
Love you guys. Thank you for coming by.
Us too. Sorry you weren't here last week, but we're back. I said we're back.
We're back.
Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. Mine was dope.
Same here. Dopeness all around.
I ate leftover pie and cheesecake all weekend for breakfast. So
and Wu-Tang Clan.
I made an apple pie, and it wasn't terribly sweet. Perfect for breakfast.
You throw some to it. Did you have ice cream with breakfast?
I didn't. I'm actually not a big. I like ice cream, but
don't you say that?
Day two pie. So that's in the toaster oven.
Don't fucking say
for breakfast. I'm not going to eat ice cream for breakfast. That's just me.
Whoa. What? You've eaten Reese's for breakfast. You're not going to eat ice cream for breakfast?
No, I don't eat Reese's for breakfast either.
No.
Meh. It's just me. I did go to Waffle House the other day for the first time in years.
It's the best. Yourself afterwards?
Yeah, is your toilet still crying?
No. It's fine. Had some waffles, some scattereds.
It's a good time.
It's a good time.
All right. See y'all later.
We'll see you next week.
Deuces.
Adios.
Bye-bye. Whoa.
I'll be Tracer.
I'm already Tracer.
What about Widowmaker?
I'm already Widowmaker.
I'll be Bastion.
Nerf Bastion.
You're right to Winston.
I wanna be Winston.
I guess I'll be Genji.
I'm already Genji.
Then I'll be McCree.
I already chose McCree.